This is TWiT.
Our holiday gift guides continue. It's time to look at VR games. You got the latest VR gear. Sam Machkovech from Ars Technica has a look at the games you have to have.
What's up, TWiT fans? This is Sam Machkovech from Ars Technica, taking a break from my usual VR headsets to talk to you about the best games and experiences that came out in 2017 for VR. It's an interesting year to talk about VR because there weren't a bunch of exciting new pieces of hardware. We had some stuff from Windows Holographic, Windows Mixed Reality that tried to lower the cost but didn't really push the technological perspective. What that really means, at least for someone like me, is that the VR experiences are starting to settle. Fewer gimmicks and more really good ideas. So it's a good time to talk about some of the best games of the year. Munna comes from the studio Phenomena, whose staffers have made critically acclaimed games like Katamari Damacy and Journey. Luna follows those beloved footsteps with a touching story that plays out like a VR storybook. I think of it like a good Pixar film. You can hand this to a kid and they'll instantly appreciate the cute cartoony animals and also the simple figure puzzles out with your hands kind of controls. That being said, if you're a grown-up, you will get in really deep with the emotions, the story, and the puzzles as well. So it really cuts across all ages and play styles to deliver something unique and touching. To the Top does the seemingly unthinkable in delivering exciting VR parkour that is also comfortable. You'll use your hands to crawl, bounce, and leap across giant obstacle courses, and you'll aim to get fast times to a finish line while also collecting hidden gems and other collectibles. It's as close as we currently have to VR Spider-Man. I love how the game instantly feels fast and thrilling, yet also has a bunch of surprising depth. Check it out. If you own a VR headset and love the Adult Swim series Rick and Morty, spend some schmeckles on virtual Rickality. This bizarre puzzle game is by no means the ultimate VR experience, but it is fun, immersive, and it delivers almost 3 TV episodes worth of content, Rick and Morty humor, complete with the show's whole voice cast. While we're on the subject, Rick and Morty fans should also pick up a little game called Accounting. It's short, but it's wacky, and it's free. If you like one, you'll love the other. VR systems are flooded with shooting games as of late, especially standstill and shoot arcade-style ones. But there's one I'd be crazy not to recommend, Doom VFR. You can guess what the F stands for. This slimmed-down version of the 2016 Doom reboot makes running, blasting, ripping, and tearing a total VR blast. It's also surprisingly comfortable in VR, which is good because this bloody demon-killing game is fast. As of this taping, I've only tested a preview version on a high-end PC, and I'm hoping it will run just as smoothly on PlayStation VR. But if you had told me 2 years ago that I would enjoy a Doom VR game and not get sick, I would have laughed at you. Now, I'm laughing in joy. To close out my list, I have a tie for Best VR Game of 2017, and these two games, polar opposites. The first is Gorn. This is a hilarious dive into visceral, over-the-top violence. The game feels like a combination of Russell Crowe and Gladiator and a Roadrunner vs. Wile E. Coyote cartoon. You have to battle your way out of a Roman arena with bouncy hammers, Wolverine claws, and every melee weapon in between used to eviscerate your opponents. Sound effects, cartoony dismemberment, and other fine-tuned touches make this a memorable jump into M for Mature VR territory. Also, out of all of the games in this list, I would call this the most fun to play with a group of friends who are hanging out on a couch nearby and begging for their turn in VR. Just make sure not to wave your hands anywhere near the TV set. As you're using these sort of melee implements of death, you will almost certainly get close to smacking your own TV screen. Full disclosure, I totally did that. My other top pick for 2017 is called Static. This is a must-play for anyone who loves puzzle games. Players are stuck in a bizarre testing facility, a little bit like Portal, but not a ripoff. And your hands are trapped in a variety of puzzle boxes in this institute. You'll have to figure out how to free your hands because they're sort of mapped to a PlayStation 4 controller, the DualShock 4. So all of the different buttons and joysticks in real life correspond to something in virtual reality. And the trick is every single puzzle box does different things with the buttons. So your next puzzle might have the joystick do something totally different than the first puzzle, and on and on. I've just never seen anything quite like this in any puzzle game, let alone VR, in terms of having to learn on the fly and find compelling solutions to mind-bending puzzles. This learn-as-you-go game is coupled with wonderful VR tricks, incredible atmosphere, and the coolest of all, I'd say, a robust two-player mode where a friend can join you by using a smartphone. This one has an even different set of puzzles. I'd say it's a good year where this list can be so big that I've had to leave off some pretty cool games. There's From Other Suns, which is on Oculus, Dino Frontier on PlayStation VR, and Heart of the Emberstone for Oculus and Vive. If you're new to VR, I would suggest go over to arstechnica.com where you can read my articles about the best VR games and experiences of the past few years, including stories on documentaries and other weird experiments. And you can follow me at SamRed on Twitter for anything else in terms of games, VR, and other crazy tech culture stuff. Thanks again.